So we can do some astrology. But there's some major problems that we have to solve that, well, they've already solved their problem. Who, Shauna, who? Well, I guess it would be the church, right? Boy, that's going to become a focal point the more that Saturn tethers onto Neptune, which they are so close right now. Just means that it's hard to find structure to the actual religion that is here because it's kind of going through a reset within the organism. Yeah, and communications would be key in order to start to expose whether or not there was a way to live here, and that would be our religion. So that's what will go into focal point with the Saturn Neptune going backwards into Pisces. It's just going to be like that Neptune is going to take over and remind us once again that there's something in the background of our subconscious programming. It's the system. Once again, we have to just get blatant and talk about the control system that has a lot of people thinking a certain way, which I guess is called cognitive dissonance, because they are under an impression about things, but they don't really know that they're being told a lie. They don't really know what it is. With a lot of things, we can try to explain that scenario where it gets pretty darn dangerous because, well, mankind is being controlled into doing things for money, which equates to building their own imprisonment and poisoning themselves and then turning into a kind of society that kind of like duh, it's like if you can't beat them, join them, and that's horrible. But see, there is just so much. See, there's something that says we should cut back on all of this number of people confused, which is the population. I hate to talk about this pretty heavy subject matter that should come up. I think, it has come up about sex and what the underground is up to, of course, with Mercury retrograde here, which it's going forward now. And we're going to be able to feel probably a headache at first because it just seems like we were getting ready to go, but then Mercury said, wait a minute, I forgot and then it's going to go back. And I'm literally feeling like this jam feeling, because I'm a highly creative person, and it's about the kids. It's about the child's self. See, it's coming up in subject matter, and it seemed to be taking the front page about what the just talk about. I mean, who is it really that does this stuff across the board? Um, what, Shauna? What are you talking about? Oh, it's unspeakable stuff. But if there's enough people breeding out of control, then they can start harvesting a certain kind of person or people, and it could be just so much noise and so much confusion with population bursting everywhere that it's just not heard of very well and much. And then to talk about the secret society that actually pays people to do what they do, right? I've talked about it already. It's hardly 5 minutes into this, and it's a difficult subject matter that nobody wants to think about really. But there it is. You think just a speck in the billions and trillions of possibilities out there of methods of communicating, supposedly. So what use are you? And it's just like a big hold tight, because there is an attempt on everybody's life, really, and it's a massive depopulation, and it's really actually for the best. It's for the good. We've determined that it is actually benevolent beings that are able to have such power to do the things they do on a massive scale. That's the only ones that can have that kind of power. And so I don't know, you can figure this out on your own. See, if the population is highly controlled, which it is, and it's controlled into illness enough, it's just really in bad shape, something is going to come along and try to thin out or cure it, right? Maybe. Is it Christ Jesus, or is it Bill Gates over there with the thingy? Sorry. Hi. Very vague on the subject matter. It's not fun, but that's why, though, that we have alive women here is to risk our lives and say and talk about the possibility of there being a cure, right? Like what if we said no most of the time when we thought it was the right thing to do to have kids? How about that? It's a hell of a subject matter, and I don't like it, any of it, but here it is, it's coming up. See, well, the baby Jesus thing, right? That holiday really focuses on the babies. Baby. The firstborn, who knows what, it's all very confusing, right? It's a story, but now, having said that, there is a culture, the Hispanic that is down south from America here, that have been preyed upon about it. I mean, oh, it's all about the baby Jesus, and the way that they have glorified the look of that person, right? The blue eyes and the blonde hair more and more, and the long hair, and the just more and more looks like the schizophrenic that's in any beach town that you go to. You'll find that look, by the way. And then they got more and more ugly. And it's like, wait a minute, that's not really it. That's actually Satan. Would you stop it? If it was personified, and there you go. Okay, so it's August, and it's hard to believe I had turned the page on the ephemeris, and we are now looking at a Mercury going direct. It's happening. It's kind of going slow. Give it a chance. At 4 degrees here, like I said, it thinks it's established. At that degree, you think everything is established at this degree of pivoting, where it's kind of square. It's opposed to Pluto. It's kind of doing a mild opposition to Pluto, and this means that it's possible to figure out what's going on, like to be a detective. It reminds me of detective work. It just says that no, we're looking into the truth, and it's not fun. And so that's what we're kind of seeing with the Mercury traversing through Leo. It has to do with our joy and children and the performing arts on stage. Leo has a lot to do with just the big stage or the little stage, the clown act or the serious act, the whole circus, really. And then it closes at 8, and how boring that really is, because, well, don't worry, we have Scorpio that squares that, says, did you know there's an after party? Oh my God. And we're just talking about that after party, really, and it's not human. When we're talking about how that they harvest the human potential up, and really the human biology, there's a part of it where, okay, so this subject matter expands so huge that only Leo could do it if they got on stage and could help us out with it. I do have a Leo part of fortune that's involved with Neptune and my ascendant, which causes a grand trine. Believe me, I would love to just get on the guitar and strum out the most amazing thing. But I think that there's a subject matter. Well, first of all, music could be converted into the tool that it really is, which, yeah, it's right now it's all been hijacked just like the human potential itself has it. But lo and behold, how that you'll never know, but it is the truth that they harvest human bodies in many, many different ways. I don't want to talk about this, but this is what's coming to light. Kind of a more morbid subject matter, and that's what Mars opposed Saturn is apt to do. With it being involved with a trine to Pluto, it's like, well, we can still chomp down our steak and talk about the energy that you're getting from it, kind of a thing, you know. Not good, by the way, especially if it's steaks that are cut off of organisms that were farmed and harmed. They're made to fear their lives, and you're eating adrenaline, and the population is now pumped up on. You've heard it. It's like, well, no, a good army is eating hamburger and ground up rumps, and it's like, yeah, but are we ever going to stop being warlocked and in that mode of always being in the adrenaline mode where it's fear of death, kill or be killed kind of thing, right? It's like, I think we could just, can you fast for at least 40 days and then maybe eat some grapes all the whole time and, get calm and docile so that it's just not a constant thing that goes on out of control to where it's like something says, okay, I think it's time actually to exterminate it now. Let's just, man, the way that I'm talking about this now, do you ever get the feeling that you're just like pawns on a chessboard and you're involved in something is hard to detect what it is, right? Do you even think about it? Oh my God, I was somebody who thought about it from way early on, like before I could even walk. I was like, what is this again? I think it was an again for sure too. I've been here many, 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 many times, and it's getting pretty fucking boring. I'm telling you, but it's getting gruesome too. It's like, oh, okay, well, can I leave now? No, I'm not in this. I'm not involved in that. Get me out of here. Bye. Is there something I did right, God, that some part of me doesn't have to come down here anymore? You know what I'm talking about? How about you? How about you like the subject matter? Well, I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. But it's because it's an obvious to me, kind of, maybe. I mean, when we start, just what I really don't want to do is meditate on the subject matter. But we've already heard it though. There's books that have been written that are kind of cartoon-like. It's kind of mocking subject matter, like Soylent Green, and that, everybody knows just that name, Soylent Green. They never read the book, but then their mind is going about McDonald's and talk about the overpopulating sea. I was trying to tell you, well, yeah, about hush money and then money, what money is really doing. Ooh, it's disgusting, you guys, and so I hope that you can get away from it as much as you can. Don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you didn't detect something, you're probably going to detect it in the next until October. We get to look forward to Saturn being with Neptune and going back into this Pisces degree, which means you have to find out if you have late degree mutable, which I do know some late degree Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So it's just a time where deception and it just reminds me of that scene that Frank Zappa talks about, but it's the scene in Wizard of Oz where they finally pull the curtain back and there's the idiot doing all the controls and they're looking over at the smoke and mirrors and the main story and everything and the green guy and talking and dictating things, and it's just going to be obvious for a lot of people how, yeah, what Frank Zappa said, when the illusion cannot take care of itself anymore, when it can no longer be afforded, that there's the illusion of this life that people are conducted into living from Israel, babes. Israel is like the baby, the baby carriage, right, of your famed fucking mind control, fucking mind boning system, man. It's very, very dangerous right now because that place is being tilled up. It's being discovered and it's being exposed, and they're not telling us the real news, except for they will tell us some things, but because you know that it's under intergalactic monitor, and you have to have a language comes out that kind of makes everybody think up there and doing the chess game, keeping it up to us to figure it out, that it sounds like we know what we're handling and what we're dealing with, but no, that's why I pick on language and how it's all stuffed together, and maybe at least back off a little bit. Let's get into a feeling, find out what's exactly here. If that's the truth or not, that would be good to start doing a thumbs up and ringing a bell over it. Because until then, we're gonna keep experiencing a plummet into darkness. I don't know how to best to describe it to you guys, how I feel about that, because there is a problem with language and that we don't know most of what we're saying. Unfortunately, I'm picking on the people doing YouTube like Teal Swan and Ralph Smart, highly influential people. See, it's about people that are influencing, and how we do it is through communications. But if you just fly off the handle and you use certain words in a certain way that keeps us in a fucking rut. One of the words that I don't like that we use all the time is revolution. We're going to have a revolution. Great. We're going to go in circles. Now, do you know what revolution means? Because there's something called rebellion also. And do you know what that means? Rebel. Babes, yes, the frequency of which disturbs people that are disturbed. See, Satan does not like music, especially live music. He doesn't like music being played beautifully, and doesn't like people dancing and smiling and being together and dancing and just getting more and more buoyant. See, that's just the way we're going to do it. That's the way we do it. And we are experiencing being tattered all the time by methods of masterminded by industries that says we will keep them this way as well. What is happening. It's so hard to explain this, but I'm getting pretty close to it at minute 18 as a Leo part of fortune trying to do entertainment here, and it's like, well, how do we entertain the audience about, how do we tell them and wake them up to the many varieties of vamping on human spirit, vampiring their energy, going after the gold, mining them, farming them up, actually creating making the system is actually geared more and more. See, it's birthing, and it's picking on and picking out ones that are threatening, which they kind of shine a little bit different. They kind of are a little bit out of, like you've heard of the black sheep. See, now that's the one that threatens the revolution system, that keeps us looping backwards. It's really taking advantage of the nature of the narcissist, who is a literal, like a time machine, who just can't seem to move forward from past events. They really do have a trauma bond problem. right? And it could just backfire on them with many scenarios of just life happening where you have to eat it, that, well, things don't last forever, things don't live forever, and we don't control anything here, kind of a thing. They're such control freaks. Anyway, they are the ones that are being used and harnessed the best by the system to do the money run and stuff. And so, but what I was kind of touching on is the many, many ways that the system or something, it's hard to pinpoint now what it is, because you may not have it, but then the next person, you'll notice they're kind of quirky and maybe they have this thing. See, the many ways to tap into human energy and just siphon them out, torture them. Sorry, this is horrible fucking subject matter, but of course we're coming up and talking about it with the Mars opposed Saturn. Any aspect with that in the opposition is just testing us. See, here it is the 11th. We're at 1 degree Libra, and it's exactly 1 degree Mars, 1 degree Saturn. And I am here to tell you, babes, fucking getting real with you is hell. I will tell you, I am one that is hunted down for my energy in many forms and ways of doing it. Even though I give it away, even though I am a giver, and as live performing artists, that's who we are. We are spilling over, and people kind of lap us up. See, but I'm noticing thieves of that too. They will take the credit for the thing that we know how to do. And also the vamping and being exploited and fucking being completely just this fucking shit that can go on. I swear what I'm going through. It's like, okay, it's just about, it's fucking interesting if you're intelligent, because you're gonna be looking at this gauntlet um, of a world that you live in. Looking into it, it is just, it's fascinating, it's breathtaking, and if you haven't gone down that rabbit hole it involves your own subconscious programming. And boy, thank God that we have people like me and then you that is daring to, are you hanging on to the words I'm saying here? See, to just sleep on this stuff, to think about this kind of thing too. Because I'm here to tell you that, okay, with these planets, when we look at this evolutionary style of astrology, which is the look of human consciousness opening up and getting to awaken more and more, we find that there's just a certain time that you're going to be able to understand it. We weren't able to understand something really in the 60s, not better than what we now understand of it now in the 2020s. And it's like the spiraling of consciousness. Really, it's awareness moving into more and more consciousness, expanding on information. And see, that's what the system does not want to happen. And it's a hell of a machine, because people like you and me that hang on to every word of Christ, or even your own curiosity that says, no, I think it's a certain way like this. And PC showed me. I got right on it, and it just completely answered a lot. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way human beings are supposed to be. We're supposed to go like this, and like, yes, did you notice reality and the truth therein? So, boy, what has come up, it's difficult. But we say, people like me and my grandmother, if you knew who I was and who my grandmother, how she was. See, it just seems like it skips from generation to generation. Why? Because sometimes the shit hits the fan for people and they see it raw and they go, no, this is what happened. And that's who my grandmother was. There's a generation of people who talked about the right things because they were well, she was born in the 20s. Yeah. And we're probably going to see something in order to keep up their feed. They cause a crisis over here to where it's like, oh, forget that subject matter. We have to worry about how do we get food, which I'll say it again, babes. It's a very dangerous situation we're in. Very dangerous. I mean, we can see it in the air right now. Like, oh, really? Really? How much are they going to keep talking about that like, oh God, apparently money has control of most of the population. I was going to tell you about what it's been doing for the underground. You love your church over there, but in the basement they're not carving turkeys. Let's just tell you that right now. But they're laughing at you because they have you carving turkeys, because the turkey bird is about the same. So you want to get the biggest one for the family. It's about the same size as a good plump baby. Shit, I don't want to talk about it. I don't like it. But see, the money, in every single modern day nation, they are paying at least 5 million people to do everything from the news, your actor foundation, the projection system that needs you to believe certain thing, and then they pay people. So, but what they're not telling you is, they'll pay Lolita over in Mexico or wherever in your modern day nation if you have a southerly, less fortunate province. Well, you'll find the rich there, people wealthy, totally satanic, by the way. They are controlled by that cult system. They use the women. I don't like the subject matter. They use the women to birth babies specifically so that they can just they get high on the drug and the blood of them. Okay, next. It's probably why I just said, you know what, curb the having kids this time around. I think I am going to learn to love people and be with the kids. Love your kids more than you do and possibly can. The system has everybody so busy. Oh, you're just so fucking busy, busy, and just you are being fucking taken from right and left. They are. If you just don't care about your energy, then fine. So be it that you just run with your heads cut off until you die. I have yet to be impressed. I am amazing, though. I give it to myself. Here, put a little badge on. Here, I've got that I didn't let the world in get me. I am definitely have been. Did not tell you what I'm going through. It's the most fucking funniest it's fucking interesting. I guess it's like if we can survive this and get through it, and I'm saying if you can just identify that there is a human occupation here called love, and if you really knew how that was, now this is imperative that there are people that do this for us. It's to remind us. People need reminding, and they need to remember how it is, how simple it really is. And just simplify, relax. See, that's what we were supposed to learn with Uranus and Taurus, and it's still kind of there, it's still kind of there. Where Uranus went into Gemini, and it's heading into, I think it's at the first degree already, or the second degree, which is great. I love that, and we're all loving that. But it's still got the magnetic pull of the Taurus, who says, if you didn't learn how to slow down and take care of each other in your microcosms, what's about to happen, babes, is going to snuff all of you out. And you guys are already snuffed out because you don't communicate. There are people walling themselves off all around me, and they're fucking bombing me because they're afraid of what I am. I am love achieved. And now I would love to receive a donation into me because of my home situation. I'm trying to improve my home and I have no money and I have no support. I don't have a brother that's interested in it. I don't even have a half brother that's interested in it. They're all interested in gambling. Just realize that I could be something that I'm not telling you fully, but I would love to tell you my story and I can't, and it's the same story that you're involved with though, and it's probably the same fucking story that burns our third eye retina about Christ, man. Did you notice something strange happening here? And how do we protect ourselves? I say we do it through money, and if your money isn't free, then you'll never be able to be free. If your money isn't loving, you'll never be able to be loving. You see what I'm saying? There's a way to communicate through this thing, and I've been trying to tell you about the decoding system, but what it really points at, what you really need to know is how to elevate your consciousness into the natural order of things, and look what it keeps doing. Look what's just basically here. The English alphabet is an interfacing system sent from benevolent beings who live in outer space. We have connection with this as human potential. Now, if you're understanding my words without needing a translator, then you're well on your way. It's going to take some frickin' time here for evolution to actually kick in, but it will never happen. In fact, time is looping in a nightmare if we don't understand what we're saying on a level that starts, the bell curve starts, like, say, where it just moves towards the population now is understanding that they need to brush up on their definition a little bit. They need to get high definition with our language. Especially if you've found yourself on a typewriter. Why? What is this for? If I can just clarify, babes. See, if you can understand it, if you can get a glimpse as to how the O operates as a recycler, like how to give. See, your money. Now, you work for it too much. It should be working for you. It's you're in an imprisonment here. Now, why do you work so hard to build your prison up and you still don't get any money and do anything like after work that's fucking worthwhile? It's all about work, huh? It's all about your imprisonment system and sucking the guard's fucking cocktail. Ginger ale, 5 cents a glass. If you don't like it, you can kiss my dirty. Ask me no question and I'll tell you no lies. Give me a bucket of shit and I'll throw it in your eyes.